Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. I could tell that my tone was starting to fail me a bit, because I was like, hello, I gotta emote a bit more. No, okay, but no, seriously, last we left off, we got a lot more information. We definitely learned about gambling's addictive habit, Glenn's addictive habit of gambling. We learned that Viola Cataverini liked Furio Tigre, but unfortunately the sentiment was not returned, and Furio Tigre is merely sucking up to her because he is scared of her grandfather, to whom he owes money for the car, the medical bills, for forcing his daughter to have a crash. Granddaughter, pardon. Yeah, it's not good to be in debt to a mob boss. He's lucky he wasn't killed, but I'm pretty sure the agreement is if he can't pay up, he dead. Yeah, that gives him motive to kill Glen Elg. Let's see how we can make this stick now in court. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think's gonna happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't really go so well. That and it ended on a giant question mark. That is true. We still haven't even solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course, Maya. Thanks. Hey, I saw that. That little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt, Maggie. That was determination. And why exactly don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's chair. Roger! Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Oi, pile! Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need any of that right now. What? How'd you know she was stressed? Well, I was watching through the doorway. Oh. Are you lost the case already? Come on, show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Oh, maybe that'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too, Detective? Not in a million years. Don't tell me you don't remember this then, Maya. Huh. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. Isn't that the mysterious bottle that we found in the kitchen? Long time ago? I actually forgot about it. This is a small bottle that turned up in Tribulations' kitchen a couple days ago. Wow! Look at all these little bottles. Oh, aromatherapy oil. Jeez, he's got so many, they're just flowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute, Nick. There's one here that's different from the others. Huh. Well, what do you know? Doesn't even have a label on it. And doesn't even smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. And? What is it, Detective? Is it the poison? Oh, afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears? You're not saying... Well, medication Glen Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. Huh. Good to know. But, that begs the question. Why was Glenn's ear medication in the kitchen of Tribulations? The victim's ear medicine covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. Why? Why would it be in the kitchen? He was never in the kitchen. Unless someone was trying to dispose of evidence, which is quite possible, to which then will point back to John Armstrong. Because that's his kitchen. Huh. Interesting. And what about the unidentified fingerprints? I realized that's still noted on here. Did the lab get anything about it? Oh, someone screwed up, so they only really are trying to analyze contents of the bottle. And allow them, they might have gotten something on the prince, but... that's really gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, okay? Today's trial. I think I'm gonna be exposing that guy for what he's done. Or my name is not Phoenix Wright. Good luck to us, I guess. How are we gonna do this? We need to make all the facts come together. That's gonna be very interesting. Court is now in session today for the trial of Maggie Bird. Why did I use Gumshoe's voice? Or Maggie Bird? No. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of one Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with numerous problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank with his right hand, provided he did it as a gentleman and not a barbarian. And yet, according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. And yet, his left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf. Huh. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn along with it. I'm afraid you've lost me already today, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers would dare think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions already? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was also throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Very well. Then let the first witness take the stand. Mr. Armstrong. And you are? Bonjour everyone! I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la pert and a pretty gentleman, non? On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Is that correct? Oh, with you, monsieur. What? Everything feels right. I thought he was going to say I was in the Tribulations with you, Mr. Godot. I'm like, what? that threw me for a bit. Wow, he is totally unfazed. Does anything even intimidate this guy? Very well. Your testimony, if you please, witness. Tell the court what happened on that day at Tribulations. Oui, volontiers. I mean, at least it's not... What? Viola's voice and then Gumshoe's voice the whole time, so... I think my throat will be easier. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at.
la cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse, non?
A mirror?
Ah oui, un grand mirror, la most enormous mirror.
What? A mirror. And suddenly, all the mysteries disappear. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. Well, that would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the hell? Are you kidding me? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. A mirror. How are we going to disprove that a mirror existed?
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant.
And who were these 2 customers exactly, witness?
Of course, the young man who died, and the other not-so-young man.
You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume? What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
Well, we need some hard evidence first before we can start bringing them up, right?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach in the time being.
I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day.
Experimenting with art deco? Why have I not heard of anything like that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur?
Please, Mr. Armstrong, stay on topic. Why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorateur? No, Your Honor. Art deco, a style of design. He's talking about interior designs. You know, walls, ceilings, carpets, all that sorts of stuff. Oh, yes, of course. That deco. I have to look up that word that the judge said. What was that? I may be an English major, but there are words I've never heard before in my life. Decorateur, I've never heard.
I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example.
And how big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Oh, something 4 meters wide and oui, about 2 meters high.
If 1 meter is, oh my god, that is a huge mirror.
I was intending to install it on la ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't ever remember looking up.
None, but I decided not to go through with it in the end.
Should I be asking him more about the mirror? I think so, because right now, this is what's clearing away all the contradictions from yesterday. I need to find something wrong about this mirror. He couldn't lie about such a huge object like that. It must have been there in the restaurant somewhere. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Did I do it again? Are you serious? No, did I really do it again? Please skip. Yes. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, I did it again. I keep thinking the first option is to press harder. Damn it. I have got to read the selection when it is something other than progressing the story of saying he killed him, he didn't kill him, someone else killed him, you know? I just went, boop. I gotta stop doing that. Mr. Armstrong, if you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, I'm willing to bet someone noticed it. And yet there was nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo's or Maggie's testimonies. But... You didn't ask, Trite. You only have yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Tribien the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror. Okay, it may be true that the mirror was delivered a day before the incident, but something just does not add up. Even if it was delivered, it doesn't prove it was in the restaurant that day. If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror?
Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at.
Okay. Let me just say this for the record, that I normally expect people to notice the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally. How exactly does normality come into this, Trite? That's lame, even by your standards. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it's impossible? Is that it? Where does that leave the pork-you-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite?
Not the hair! I do not have a top knot!
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien. Logic as one latte. So then, la cup, la earpiece, and la glasses, what I've seen everything in reverse, non?
Everything. Everything in reverse.
Wait! Hey, Nick, let's take a sec to think about what old CD said in his testimony yesterday.
How did he phrase it again?
The boy was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the green legs of his pen.
Green lens of his specs! Green legs of his pens! Wow! I totally mixed that up. How?
No question! You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said would be on the right, huh? And that does clear up all problems with his testimony. But does it really? Tch. It's kinda hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, of all things. And yet... Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? Well, if he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper. No, that's true. Everything is resolved by simply saying there's a mirror. So everything would change. And we can't, you know, read into Victor Kudo's mind because that's not proper. So we can't say that he normally would have realized there was a reflection. Maybe he didn't. I mean, he was busy looking at waitresses. I think he could care less about a mirror. He probably enjoyed the mirror. But honestly, where is it? This. I do have a problem with this. I don't think everything was seen in reverse. I really, really don't. So now I had to think about what Mr. Kudo did that day. Everything he testified to was about, you know, the hand, the glasses, the earpiece. It's all left. It was all left. And yet, left for hand, earpiece, and earpiece is impossible. But he... Okay. Here's the thing. If he's saying that there's a mirror, then that would indicate that Mr. Kudo was sitting on the same side of the restaurant as the victim, Glenn Elg, just on the table behind him, or in front of Elg, however you wanna, you know, discuss it. Then that would put the reflection theory in play. However, before the mirror came up, we were all under the impression that he was sitting at the table on the other side of the restaurant that just happens to be beside Mr. Elg, to then give Victor the whole left profile view. So because there's a mirror, now the question is, where did Victor sit? Was it where we initially thought, on the other side of the restaurant, parallel to Victor Kudo? I shouldn't say parallel because both ways, but like side by side? Or was it on the same side of the restaurant, front and back, in terms of table? I need to think about what Victor did. Well, actually, ooh, that just brought me down 4 roads in 4 seconds. No, wait, no, that's an idea. Remember, he knocked over the vase on his table. The photo on the day of the crime. Yes, that shows from the kitchen view, Glenn Elg's table. I wonder if it also shows the table in front of Glenn. And if so, does it capture the vase? Let me see. Well, I'm gonna present it anyway if I'm wrong, but I'm committed to it. Where is that picture? This is it. There it is. My hunch was right. It shows just enough of the table, and look at this. That vase is intact. There was no mirror on that day. Or if there was, it wasn't in the restaurant. No. Victor Kudo did not sit here, as you are claiming. What's to present? Okay, not that. But I'm on the right track, I'm sure. That answers my question, though. Blah, 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 blah. Then maybe it's... I did not want to press that button, are you kidding me? Okay, if not that... I would say then... Where is your thingy? Right here. Actually, this might have been better, because it points out what I want to say directly. Never mind, I am stuck now. But I think I'm on the right track. Maybe just the wrong time? Wrong place? Oh no. La cup, la earpiece, and the glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse. Having a large mirror. What do you want me to do? This does not help. This does not help. Let me hear this again. How big? Intending to install. No. Minor. Design not go receipt. Why not? If you really had such a large mirror, someone would have noticed it. No one mentioned it, and yet didn't ask. Mirror was delivered on that day. Didn't really use it. It just doesn't add up though. If it wasn't, doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant. I see now. Okay, I see now. I get it. Right here. I'm trying to prove that the mirror does not exist. The other part was not proving that the mirror didn't exist. I think what I was more doing was proving where Victor Kudo sat, which does not help here. I need to disprove the mirror. So I think I need to present it here, then. The crime scene photo. Never mind. How about Victor's testimony? I am so killing myself right now. This is unfortunate. Oh my god, what do you want from me? Really? Am I just too far ahead? What do I have? You're not telling me to use the floor plans, are you? Are you? We normally yada yada yada. Normally, normality, da 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 da. Yes, yes, I do not top knot. The end, logic is one a day. La cut, that's not what I meant. There's gotta be something wrong. Let me hear this again. I am lost beyond belief. Everything, he would have seen everything in reverse. We, yada yada yada. How did he phrase it? The same side as the green lens were to be left. No question, yada yada. Same hand to pick up the cup. Saw everything described in the mirror. And everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right. Are you saying that something happened that was impossible? Well, if that's the case... He did, Victor did mention that... Glen Elk was also holding a newspaper. So if everything was reversed in the mirror, that would mean Glenn was holding the paper in his left hand. It would. And yet... Would it? I mean, everything would have been reversed. Da-da. Da-da. Would it, though? I don't know. And I am about to die because I really think I jumped the gun at this point. I mean... This proves that he drank with his right hand. Yes. I'm trying to think in terms of mirror. If I'm sitting like this... And if I'm looking at the corner... His right arm... would be reflected on... the right side. Yes, would be reflected on his... I'll be seeing his right arm on his left side. I don't know. I'm lost now. Well, I'm gonna die anyway, so I might as well die now and then, you know, show a game over, yay! The coffee container. Well, it is covered in the victim's fingerprints. Yep, I'm dead. Okay, bye, yep. Okay, I will see you all in a hot moment. Woo! It took 3.5 minutes to get back here. Fast forwarded. Oh god, I saved just now because I am not going through another 3 minutes after being lost. It's like, yeah, die without saving, you get punished hard. Very hard. Holy gods. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, whatever. Who are the two customers? My, of course, yada yada yada, yada da da da. The other man that will never be mentioned. I need hard evidence, yada yada yada. I don't know. Like having a large table between lamp tables. I don't know. I can either go with the la Miller comment, or la cup, la earpiece, and la glasses, like I am right now. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if he would have seen everything in reverse, I'm supposing then that the floor plans would be of great importance, because we know where the victim sat. I mean, the picture's right there. We now don't know where Victor Kudo sat. And I guess this would help no, I didn't want to do that. And I guess this would help pose the question? No, okay, that's great. I am dying right now. The cup... I forgot I can present profiles. Oh my god, I gotta think about profiles too, Jesus. No, all I thought was evidence. Oh, damn it, now I had to think about profiles too. Maybe that's where my problem is. The cup, the earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse. None? Well, Glenn... No. No, wait, doesn't Glenn wear the earpiece on his right side? Where are you? Sorry, on his left side? I'm sorry. I really meant left. I don't know why I said right. No, he was in the habit of wearing it on his left side. Then if he saw it in the mirror, it would look like the earpiece was on the right. See, this is why I don't like the second and third games where you can present profiles. Because I remember the second game did it, and obviously the third game has done it. I don't like this mechanic, because my brain was stuck on just evidence, evidence, evidence. I forgot about profiles. No. Glenn always wore an HMD over his left eye and left ear, except for the fact that probably now it's, you know, injured. That was stupid. The coffee cup, earpiece, and HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? Ugh. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and earpiece were on the victim's left side. So, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it's not so odd, non? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a very monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it then that the HMD is now on the wrong side of the victim's head? Order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. How bitter. Trite. You should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee, or something different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase, sorry, apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the poor old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Well, Mr. Trite, that is the worst and yet best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was all seedy there for a minute. Godot's good.
I had a feeling he was doing that, so that's why I did it in his tone. It was like, kind of like the deeper tone. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction just found is a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, Wright, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at la plans of le restaurant.
The mirror.
Hello, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen the image of la victim. That was at la seat at the table next to la victims. That is where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Well, I see no problems with the explanation we've just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Mouse? Thank you. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again.
Ugh! Hate that guy!
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite certain about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Well, very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
Can I now do what I was thinking? Because now we've firmly established that you're saying Mr. Kudo was, sitting at the table next to the victim. Ah, shoot, now I don't know where to present. Shoot. Because I already see the problem, because I already established that before I, game overed once. That if Victor was sitting at that particular seat, the vase would have been knocked down. So I'm not even going to question this guy. Because I think I have it. I just don't know what to present where. There are a couple of things I could do. Naturally, I did not touch anything else, which could be a lie because of the vase. Or... you know what? No, I didn't want to... okay, fine. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? My monsieur, it is obvious none. If you look at la plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in la mirror, like so. If you were sitting at la table next to him, you would see everything, none. So that's the seat old CD was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at a table next to the victim? Why does that seem kind of odd? No, I already know. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to, do the present. Okay, it's either the picture or the testimony. Let me try the picture. Yay, okay. See? Okay, so I was at the right answer, but I was one testimony too early with it. That is annoying. That is so stupid. It's funny, it's like I solved the next problem without looking at the next problem. It's weird. Mr. Armstrong, this piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've heard from you.
The crime photo?
Yes, Your Honor. This photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist. Sounds a lot like you're describing yourself, Wright.
Now, the defense wouldn't mind clarifying its statement. What exactly is the something that should not exist?
This vase. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? But what possible connection does this have with the witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was sitting on the table he was at. And yet, miraculously enough, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection.
Don't be an idiot, Wright. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction, then. There was no mirror in Tribulations that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is nothing but an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Objection.
Don't try to confuse the court, Wright. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't work for me. Mr. Armstrong has already testified to the contrary, and I quote, "I did not touch anything else except the mirror." That's true. We can use his own testimony against him.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
That's right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, I'm afraid we've returned back to the original problem at hand. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear from?
You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Wright, then this problem's all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I think I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. You gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? I don't know, but guess what? I'm ending the video here. Because including the cuts is probably like 42, 43 minutes, so a good place to stop. That, and I got so thrown by that testimony, I forgot I can present profiles. That was so stupid, but whatever. That's past. I managed to solve the second testimony without seeing the testimony by mistake. And we'll see how well we'll do in the next episode. I'm pretty sure we are nowhere near done with Mr. Armstrong. But until then, later.